Flamingo Cantina even existed. And then they built the Flamingo Cantina. And it's the best club in Austin, in my personal opinion. So thank you, Angela, for creating such a wonderful, beautiful club. Tip your bartenders over here generously. Who is attending your first Texas Normal meeting? Right back there, right up here. Yeah. And this gentleman back here is our newest Texas Normal member. Thank you, sir. If you're not a member of Texas Normal, please join Texas Normal so that we can legalize marijuana in Texas. The more of us there are, the more powerful we are. See Betty to join Texas Normal. She will square you away. You can also see Lisa. That's Lisa right there. What's Jamie's deal? Jamie, if you join as a freedom fighter, our legal counsel, Jamie Spencer, will defend you for free if you're caught for possession. That's a good deal. In Travis County, yes.
Just to clarify for you, Jamie, if you're out there watching, he did say that he will defend a misdemeanor THC charge here in Travis County, and I believe the last meeting he said, was it first degree felony? Did he say that right? That wasn't me just thinking. Yeah. So any level misdemeanor or a first degree felony here in Travis County, if you join as a freedom fighter or above, Jamie Spencer will defend you for free.
Thank you, Jamie. November 11th is Veterans Day. How many veterans do we have in the house tonight? Yeah, let's give our veterans a big round of applause. We got kicked out of the Veterans Day parade. They said we're a political organization. I'm still working on that, but it's not looking good. Bottom line is, this new group that took over the coordinating the Austin Veterans Day parade, my opinion is they do not want us marching with the marijuana banner anymore because they don't want to offend Senator Cornyn, who's going to lead the parade, and they don't want to offend Governor Abbott, who's going to be at the wreath ceremony. So once again, because we use marijuana, we got to stay invisible. They said you can march, but you can't carry your banner. I was like, no, we're not buying that. So we're not going to let it discourage us. We marched in 2015, 2016, but now we're banned. That's okay. They can't ban us from speaking and fighting. Yesterday was Election Day 2018. Who voted yesterday or later? Yeah. Thank you for voting. As usual with Election Day, there's good news and bad news. Beto lost. How many of you voted for Beto? I did. It was 51% for Ted Cruz, 48% for Beto. Beto was a little bit ahead, but what put Ted Cruz over was when the rural districts came in. When those votes came in, then Ted was over 50%, and that was the game right there. So we have work to do out there in the rural counties to let them understand how important our issue is. So we have Ted Cruz in office for another 6 years. Well, we'll keep working on Ted. I wrote him a letter the other day, hadn't got a reply back. But, good news, Congressman Pete Sessions, the worst prohibitionist in Congress and chairman of the House Rules Committee, who uses his power to block every marijuana reform bill in Congress, got his ass beat yesterday. by Mr. Colin Allred, an ex-pro football player and businessman who supports legalizing marijuana, supports medical marijuana. We are so proud of Colin Allred for taking Pete Sessions down. Thank you, Colin. Governor Abbott was reelected. But on the good side, Governor Abbott has pledged to support changing possession of 2 ounces from a Class B to a Class C misdemeanor. We will work with our legislators to craft a bill that hopefully the governor will support, but we want this bill to be written in such a way to take away the option of the police officer to arrest a person who possesses 2 ounces or less of marijuana. Because for most Class C misdemeanors, it's at the discretion of the police officer whether he will arrest you or not for a Class C misdemeanor. But there are 3 Class C misdemeanors in Texas where the law is written in such a way that the police officer is not allowed to arrest you. One of those is the cell phone law. Getting caught using your cell phone while you're driving is a Class C misdemeanor, but the police officer can arrest you for that offense. Surprisingly enough, another one is the open container law. I didn't know that. If you get caught with an open container, it's a Class C misdemeanor, but the law is written in such a way that the police officer cannot arrest you. And so if we're going to work with Governor Abbott to reduce 2 ounces to a Class C misdemeanor, we want to craft the bill so that the police officer does not have the option of arresting you, so that you don't have an arrest record. And we want to craft the bill in such a way that you also, if you pled guilty or demanded a jury trial, which you can do with a Class C misdemeanor, that you would not have a criminal record. So it'll be very important how we word that bill. We want a penalty bill, no arrest, no criminal record. But if Governor Abbott insists on a Class C misdemeanor, then we're going to craft that bill to look a lot more like a civil penalty bill, which is what we prefer. So we'll be really focused on that in the next 2 or 3 months. But obviously we're making a little bit of progress with Governor Abbott, because it's a big deal for him to say the words that people who are arrested for 2 ounces of marijuana should not be put in jail. That's kind of a big deal in Texas. So we'll take what we can get at this point with Governor Abbott and just keep pushing him. Michigan voters legalized marijuana. Michigan is now the 9th legal state. And that's a big state. Rob Campia said that Michigan will probably be like the 2nd largest marijuana market in the United States now that it's legal. North Dakota voters said no to legal marijuana by a large margin. So North Dakota had it on the ballot and voted against it. Sad day for North Dakota. Utah passed the marijuana. Missouri legalized medical marijuana. Dave. So now we have 32 medical marijuana states. That's a big deal. Yeah, come on up, Dave. I saved the best one for Dave.
All right. So he mentioned Pete Sessions earlier. The next one's actually pretty awesome. Attorney General Jeff Sessions. He is the probably the most famous prohibitionist right now, the harshest prohibitionist. Well, not anymore, but as of earlier today, he is the one who said that good people don't smoke marijuana. You guys remember that guy? Yeah, he stepped down and is no longer in office. He is no longer our Attorney General. So, like you said, there's some good news and some bad news. When you overlook the good with the bad, though, we are winning. Sorry, this fan's annoying. David, can you cut that fan for me, please? Thank you. Thanks, Dalton. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, the 86th Texas Legislature convenes on January 8th. We will be supporting a medical marijuana bill, a civil penalties bill, and maybe a Class C misdemeanor bill. If we can craft it so that people will not be arrested and have no criminal record, that is a beautiful thing. I know here in Travis County, specifically here in Austin, they're very, very good about the cite and release. The cite and release is obviously, I don't know if everyone is fully aware of that, but it is up to the officer's discretion if they want to arrest you or not. But it is not in any way, shape, or form get you off the hook for being charged with a crime. It just means that you don't have to spend the night in the jail if they choose to not arrest you that day. But you absolutely still get charged with a Class B misdemeanor by the state of Texas. So this bill would be making it a Class C. Is, yes, kind of almost the equivalent of a civil penalties bill. Yeah. So now, I believe that we are all patients, every one of us, because I believe that this plant is therapeutic in so very many different ways. So I would like to take this opportunity to introduce you one of our newest patient outreach coordinators, Claire McKenzie.
Did I jump ahead?
No, I just couldn't turn the picture. They were stuck together. Yeah, sorry. Claire is a professional chocolatier. She makes delicious candies. And she's also a marijuana activist from Seattle, the Free State of Washington. We are honored to welcome her on board our Texas Normal Board of Directors. She is very, very dedicated, very passionate, and I can't wait to hear what she has to say.
Thank you, Dave. Dave. Okay, how's this? All right, so my name is Claire McKenzie, and I am not a public speaker. Just where? All right. However, I am a cannabis patient and a fierce advocate for cannabis legalization. So for tonight's discussion, I'm going to talk about cannabis medicine. I'm going to cover a bit about the prohibition of cannabis, talk about the evolution of the medical research into cannabis, and then end with a little bit of a how do I approach my doctor and start talking about this taboo topic, especially in a state like Texas. So we're going to cover those three things. So for thousands of years, humans have used cannabis as a food, a fuel, a fiber, and medicine. Before 1940, many medications throughout the world had a main ingredient as cannabis. And there has never been a death reported from the use of cannabis. So ironically, in 1933, the alcohol prohibition ended, and one of the guys in charge of alcohol prohibition was named Harry Anslinger. Harry was looking for a job, and coincidentally, around that time, the timber industry and the petrochemical plastics industry, a brand new industry coming onto the pollution scene, wanted to kill their enemy. The enemy was industrial hemp, because industrial hemp was the wave of the future. Industrial hemp was going to make petrochemical plastics and paper pulp mills extinct. So they had to get rid of it somehow. And so, fueled by greed and racism, the war on cannabis began. Here is a direct quote from Harry Anslinger. He was the one that took over cannabis prohibition. Harry says this, it's great. Marijuana is the most violence-causing drug in the history of mankind. If you smoke a joint, you will likely kill your brother. He actually said that with a straight face. And they left him in charge. So in 1937, just a little bit more about the prohibition In 1937, the Marijuana Tax Bill Act passed into law and essentially taxed cannabis medicine, aka marijuana, out of existence. The American Medical Association response to this was, cannabis is safe, and this law, passed in ignorance, could possibly deny the world a potential medicine, especially now that the medical world is just beginning to research its therapeutic properties. However, in 1942, against the advice of the American Medical Association, cannabis is removed from the United States pharmacopoeia. Little more depressing news, then in 1971, the Controlled Substance Act was created, and cannabis was placed as a Schedule I drug, meaning it has absolutely zero medical benefits. So that's how we got here today, right? But there's good news, because even though cannabis prohibition went into effect, the medical research for cannabis medicine continued. And in 1964, Dr. Raphael Mechoulam, an Israeli scientist, discovered our favorite cannabinoid, THC. Yay. And then in 1988, the first cannabinoid receptor is found inside the human body. So now we have a connection between THC, the cannabinoid, and CB1, the cannabinoid receptor in our bodies. The plot thickens. So then in 1992, Dr. Mechoulam's team again discovered the endocannabinoid system, which produces and receives cannabinoids throughout our body. It wouldn't be until 2008 that our government would get involved in the medical marijuana thing. In 2008, the Congress introduced Medical Marijuana Patient Protection Act, which gave limited protections to patients in the 13 medical states at the time. Also in 2008, the American College of Physicians wrote a paper titled Supporting Research into the Therapeutic Role of Medical Marijuana. Quote from this paper, this is what the American College of Physicians believed in 2008. Marijuana has been used for its medicinal properties for centuries. Clinical, preclinical, clinical, and anecdotal reports suggest numerous potential medical uses for cannabis. Additional research is needed to clarify therapeutic properties and determine standard and optimal doses, I know this is dry, and routes of delivery. But it's good because it's science. Science is good. Unfortunately, research expansion has been hindered by a complicated federal approval process, limited availability of research-grade cannabis, and the debate over legalization. So in 2008, Congress was talking about, hey, maybe we should think about sort of taking the federal government out of the business of arresting people in the corner that have a bag of parsley in their pockets. That was a really big step. And then again, in 2008, with the American College of Physicians basically saying, you know, we need to research this stuff because it is medicine. So more good news. In 2010, Colorado was the first state to legalize cannabis, which was huge. And then, as Dave mentioned, that today there are 9 recreational. Is it only 9? Seems like it should be more. 10, 9. Okay, 9, and 32 medical states having added Missouri, Michigan, and Utah last night to the count. So that's awesome. Yeah, good job. That's a huge win for us. Okay, so what's happening in Texas? Just a little history. I don't know if I'm telling anybody in this room anything they don't know. I know I'm in a friendly audience. But in 2015, just to see where we are today in Texas, in 2015, the Texas Compassionate Use Program, our TCUP, was enacted. This law allows cannabis medicine to be prescribed to patients with the diagnosis of intractable epilepsy. So it's kind of, well, the law actually only protects less than 1% of Texans. So it's a very, very limited scope law, but it is a law. But currently we are completely surrounded by medical states that have a much wider condition clause. So they allow for epilepsy, but also many other health conditions. The good news is Texas is making progress, and NORML is on the front line fighting for medical cannabis. We're here and need your help, and so we're glad to see you always, and bring your friends and family. The last thing I'd like to talk about in regard to medical cannabis is the patient's journey. How does a patient go from I've tried everything that I think I can try medically from Big Pharma and the traditional routes, and it's not working, and I really want to approach my doctor, but I'm scared to do that. So I've just kind of listed out some things that you should think about before you approach your doctor if you think it's going to be an uncomfortable conversation. Also, as a patient, you should know that even if your condition isn't one of the prominent conditions like ALS, cancer, Crohn's, HIV/AIDS, MS, Parkinson's, chronic pain. I mean, there are a ton of other conditions and diagnoses that cannabis can help, so don't limit yourself to just the big ones. But so the first thing you should know when you're talking to your doctor is know your patient rights. You should know that talking to your doctor about cannabis is not illegal, and you will not be reported, and you will not be criminally charged. So a lot of people just automatically assume that's what's going to happen, and they don't even approach their doctor. So the second thing is that you need to understand the medical reason that cannabis may work for you. So cannabis activates your endocannabinoid system, which all of us have. This microphone's about to fall. Which all of us have inside our bodies. The endocannabinoid system is a built-in harm reduction system that balances our body or brings us closer to homeostasis through cannabinoids. And the ECS is how we absorb and receive those cannabinoids. So our bodies naturally create and receive cannabinoids. The cannabis plant mimics our natural endocannabinoids, and through its use, our bodies become balanced and we move closer to homeostasis. The third thing you should consider is researching your medical condition in the way that it might link to cannabis therapy. So if you can find medical articles with scientific evidence supporting cannabis therapy and the benefits that you might experience from cannabis therapy for your diagnosis. And you may have to educate your doctor, but that's okay because you're keeping the conversation going, so that's a good thing. And then finally, if your doctor is closed off from even thinking about cannabis therapy, then just thank them and leave and find another more compassionate doctor that will hear your concerns about that and respect and appreciate your rights as a patient to want to try other alternative medications. All right, so that's the end of the lecture. But I do want everyone to know here that we are having a Texas Normal Patient Outreach meeting this Saturday, November 10th at 3 p.m. It's at the Carver branch of the Austin Public Library. Our speaker will be the lovely normal cannabis patient, cannabis scientist, Anita Summers, also known as, very talented, also known as the CBD Genie. If you want more details, you can go to texasnormal.org, or if you can find us on Facebook at Texas Normal Patient Outreach. Finally, I just got to do my little spiel. Please get involved. Get involved in this situation, in this environment. You're already involved because you're here, so that means you're like halfway there. But if you're not a member of Normal, become a member of Normal, and join the movement to free our beautiful medicine plant. And remember that the problem is not the plant, the problem is the law. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Claire. And she actually did part of my next job for me. I'm going to talk a little bit about some upcoming events that we have planned in the near future. And the first one on my list is that patient outreach meeting that she mentioned on Saturday. So please, by all means, do that. We are no longer marching in the Texas Veterans Day Parade, but if you are a veteran, first and foremost, thank you very, very much for your service. And if you plan to be there, by all means, wear your Texas Texas Veterans for Medical Marijuana t-shirt, even if you plan to be in the crowd, participate in whatever manner. Like I said, we will not be marching, but if you are going to be there, by all means, show your support. All right. The very next day is a Monday, November the 12th. That is when pre-filing begins for the upcoming legislative session. So that's pretty important. And then we have Wednesday, December 5th. That is going to be our next open monthly meeting right here at Flamingo Cantina. Thank you very, very much, Angela Tharp and the Flamingo Cantina, for so graciously hosting us for so very, very many years. And then Tuesday, January 8th is the very first day of the 86th Texas legislative session. Now, on opening day, it's more of just a bunch of pomp and circumstances. There's, they have big kind of game type events on the floor where everyone gets introduced, and it's just kind of a big hoopla that day. So there's not really a lot of work that gets done that day, but if you happen to want to go and check it out, you can go and check it out. It's going to be kind of a good thing. But that is the first day of our legislative session. As you know, or I hope that you know, and if you don't know, I'm about to tell you, Texas is not a ballot initiative state, which means if we want to change laws, we have to do it at the state level. And we only get a chance to do that for 108 days, is that right? 108 days every 2 years. So that begins on Tuesday, January the 8th. Following that, on Saturday, January the 12th, we have an advocacy training day. It's a very, very important day because we always have lobby days at the Capitol. We have a constituent lobby day, which is just a big mess where everyone comes from all over the state to go meet with their representatives. There's going to be a veterans lobby day. There's going to be a patient lobby day. But to get everybody on the same page as to what our strategy is, we asked everyone to go to this advocacy training day on January the 12th. So save that date. And then on Wednesday, February the 6th, that is going to be our constituent lobby day. That is also the same day of our Texas Normal open monthly meeting. So it's going to be a long day for me because I'm actually emceeing that meeting. And I'm going to be at the lobby day all day long talking to my representatives. But it's going to be a fun day, and we ask you all to come out to all of that. Before I put the mic down, I have to say something about David Bass. David Bass is likely, you're probably not going to see him MC any of our meetings anymore. This is likely his last one ever. And we just cannot thank you enough, David, for all that you have done. It has been an honor to fight this fight next to you this entire time, and we're not done. And thank you for all that you've done, for countless emceeing these meetings and countless public speaking events all across the state. On behalf of Texas Normal, thank you very, very much. So guys, that's all I got. I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. We ask that you stick around. Coming up, we got here in a little bit some music from Ja Bill, but then after that, we have the incredible Mau Mau Chaplains. They're an amazing Austin reggae band. They're my favorite local band. They played at my wedding. That's how much I like them. So stick around, guys.